Hey guys, Johnny Nerd Out, back here with another cost comparison, breakdown, game, guide, however you want to do it. This is quickly becoming my favorite segment. I love doing this. I love helping you guys out. A lot of you guys are seriously considering buying some of these bikes, and it's just, there's such a wild price variance in all these bikes. I know I got a lot of comments on the last video is like, well, how do you build in for support, things like just support, really, customer service. And really it's impossible for me to know what the customer service level is for each of these brands. That's something that you guys can fill in with your own personal experience underneath in comments. That's where you guys help out, help other people. If you have a terrible experience building something or buying something or getting support with something, help your fellow man. But this is going to be one of my favorite ones, I think, and I think I'm going to probably have to do a part 2 because this is one of the most popular growing segments. It's the e-moped segment, where it's like the Scrambler style e-bike. And this is one of my personal favorites. Let's get right into it. Let's see. So my wife makes this for me. She's the best. Doesn't give me the price until the very end. And hopefully we'll see. You know, this is just my guess estimate as to what these prices should go for. I am a professional e-bike builder, mechanic. I've worked for a few different bike manufacturers. I kind of have a general idea of how much it should cost. So these prices are going to be full retail. This is including a healthy margin for the manufacturer to still make a profit. So when I say a guess, a cost at the very end, that's how much I think this bike should cost and still have a profit for the manufacturer. Okay, so that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, this one, we got these bikes. Okay, hopefully maybe you guys are interested in one or two of these, or maybe you're like drawing some attention to which ones you haven't. Ariel Rider Grizzly. Okay, so it says it's got two 1000 watt geared hub motors. The brand could not be found, so we don't know what kind of brand motor this is. Brand motor, that's a huge thing. My wife has just been complaining. She's like, I can't find what brand these motors are. Why aren't they not saying? And she's been Googling, trying to find, like, why don't you put what brand motor this is? That's like the heart of the battery and the motor are the two biggest things that go in your bike. Why are you not saying what brand it is? That drives me nuts. So I'm guessing if it's not good, if it's not worth mentioning, it's probably garbage. That's my takeaway. It's got two batteries, two 52 volt batteries. One's a 20 amp hour, one's a 15 amp hour battery, both using Samsung cells. Okay. Bike, I'm gonna say the value of the bike, there's nothing crazy there. I'll give it a $900 value. The bike alone is $900 value. The batteries, 52 volt 20 amp hour with Samsung cells, that's probably like a $750 value. Plus a 52 volt 15 amp hour battery, I'll give that a $575, just to make my math difficult. Motor, it's got 2000 watt hub motors. I'll give them each a $300 value. So motors are 600. Okay, so that gives us $28.25. So I'm gonna give this a value of $28.25 is what you could sell this for, still make a pretty good margin. Good profit on it. Let's see what they want to sell it for. Okay, $32.99. It's not crazy off of what I think it would be. Definitely two hub motors are still not as powerful as one mid-drive though. Super 73, the R. I had a chance to ride one of these at the one motorcycle show a couple years ago in Portland. It's interesting, it's a cool bike. I just like these bikes because they're super and they're stout. Super 73 stout. Okay, it's a single speed, optional 10-speed chain. So it does have a shock, front suspension. This is a full suspension, it looks like, and rear. Okay, so it's a full suspension. So it comes with a single speed, and you could opt for the 10-speed. For the single speed, I'm gonna give it a $1,400 value. It says it's a DC hub, 2000 watts. Doesn't say what kind, doesn't say what kind of voltage. Let's give it a $550 value, only because we don't know anything about this. And if they're not like promoting it, saying like it's a Bafang or it's a Bosch, it's a this, you're usually trying to like just hide it and be like, okay. 960 watt hour using 21700 cells. So that's where they're getting that 2000 watt. It's probably a 52 volt putting out 40 amps because those 21700 cells can put out 40 amps no problem. She says she could not find voltage or brand of the cells anywhere. So who knows what they're putting in it, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say this is a $725 battery. Okay, we got $26.75 is what I think this battery should go for and still make a healthy margin for that company. $29.95. I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting pretty close. These places aren't like, that's not a crazy price. The full suspension is pretty interesting on that. Okay, the Onyx RCR. I like these bikes. I've been watching these ones for a few years now, and I've been wanting one of these because they run 72 volts. So I know a little bit about these. I can't remember how much the price is, so I'm not totally cheating right now. So this is also a full suspension bike. It's got like more moped style tires. And this is going to be running, this is just a bigger, beefier bike. So I'm going to say it's got bigger tires. It's got a little bit more to everything. I'm going to give the bike value on this one, although it doesn't really say, we don't really know the quality of these suspension. That's the thing, without actually sitting on these bikes, it is a little bit difficult to give it like 100% assessment, but I could get probably within 80%. I'll give it $1,600 for this bike, just because I think it's got beefier tires, more like moped tires or motorcycle tires. The battery, I think this is a 72 volt 23 amp hour, I'm guessing. So I'm gonna give that $1,000 value for that. I'll give it $1,100 for battery, assuming that it's a 72 volt 23.5 amp hour. Motor, I'll give it a $600 value because it's a bigger, beefier motor. Okay, so this should be about a $3,300 bike. $4,149. Okay, so you got to decide what you're paying for. If that headlight, is there anything else on there? It's got a headlight, LED taillight. I think that price has got to come down a little bit. From what I'm looking at here, I don't see $4,150 worth of bike there. I see about $3,300. Radrunner, number 1. This one squeaks into the e-moped style. This is more of a bicycle. I'll give the bike $700 value. 750 watt. I think they use Bafang. I'm not sure. We'll give it a $350. The battery, 14 volt, 14 amp hour. Give it $450 value for that. I would give it about a $1,500 value. $1,299. Okay, so they're under. Obviously Rad goes for value. Rad definitely like goes by volume prices to get that number down. So this is actually, I would say, a good price for value. If you're looking for value and this fits your need, this is a good value. Okay, Ristretto. Oh my gosh, this is a nice looking bike. Look at that bike. I'm blushing right now. Okay, Ristretto 303 FS. Okay, this is a cool looking bike. There's just no bones about that. They don't list out, they don't spell out the exact specs of like what the forks are, what the shocks are, anything like that. So we're gonna have to kind of guess on that. But man, that's a nice looking, it's hard, this could go anyway. It really depends on the components used on the shocks. I'll give it a $1,900 value on the bike. But again, that could flex. That could vary wildly on the components used. Battery, 52 volt, 17.5 amp hour. Okay, that's market price, because right now batteries are just going crazy. Let's give it a $625 value for that. The motor, it's a mid-drive. It looks like a CYC motor. It doesn't say, but that looks like a CYC motor. And it says it's capable of 40 miles an hour, so I'm guessing it is. If it is a CYC motor, let's add on, I think $1,100 roughly for that. Could be $1,200. It's got an app controller. So I would put on this $3,685, but I'm hesitant because I want to sit on this bike to get to know this one. Let's go $3,685. $3,920. Wow, and it says it's on sale for $3,136 right now. It's $3,920, but if it says it's currently on sale for 20% off, which would be $3,136, which would put way under what this bike could go for. But again, this is just like a rendering of it, so it could be crazy. Crew Bike Company, the Crew Dart. It's a super simple bike frame. It's not bad. I actually kind of like. Just super simplistic. Probably gonna keep it light. It's got mechanical disc brakes. Let's give the bike a $500 value. Motor, it doesn't say what it is. Let's give it a $300 value. 48 volt, 7.8 tiny battery. Let's give it $375 value there. Okay, I'm gonna say $1,175 worth of bike here. $2,000, but it's on sale for $1,399. Okay, $1,399 is, $2,000 is insane. $1,399, that's not crazy. You know, if you're looking for this kind of bike, it's not crazy. Juiced, HyperScrambler, double battery. It's got a dual suspension on it, full suspension, mirrors, horns. I feel like $1,100 is gonna be good for the bike. Like if that was just a bike, I'd say about $1,100. Motor, 1,000 watt Bafang motor. Let's give it $375. Battery, 52 volt, 19.2 amp hour battery. It says it only comes with one, but it has an option to add another one. So I'm gonna price this off of just one. I don't know what kind of cells are in it. If they're Samsung cells, I'd say that's probably like a $700 battery. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, $700 battery, assuming that they're putting genuine Samsung batteries in there. Okay, so with one battery, it should be about $21.75 for this bike. If it has two of those, I'm guessing it'd be about $28.75. $29.99. Is that for two bikes? Two batteries? Not for two bikes. It says it's on sale for pre-order for $26.99. But that's just for one battery. If it's just for one battery, that's not a very good price. Zugo bike Rhino. Looks kind of like a Radrunner-ish with a high step bar. It's got a front suspension. It's got a built-in cup holder, which is kind of cool. I mean, you could do that yourself. You could get like a PDW barista and just put it on, but that's kind of cool. It's just like those little things that make it separate. It's kind of cool. Bike, I want to say $850. I want to say $850 for that bike, looking at it and everything on there. 48 volt, 750 watt geared hot motor, say $350. 21 amp hour, 1000 watt hour Samsung cells battery. Okay, well, that's a big battery. Let's give it $725 for that. I'll even give it $750. Let's go give it $725 for that. Actually, let's go $700. Let's see, 11, 12, 1900. 1900 bucks. $24.99. $600 extra. I don't know. That concludes the e-moped round one. I got a feeling I'm gonna be doing more of these ones because there's a lot of these bikes. A lot of them are so cool. I really like this segment because they're just cool bikes and they're just like little hooligan rides and I love them. Let me know what you think. If you find this helpful, yeah, if you got any suggestions, if there's a bike that you're dying to get reviewed, let me know. Put it down below in the comments. I'll try to get to them. Thanks, guys.